After graduating from Bible college, I had moved to Alabama as a single man. Didn't know anybody and didn't have any money, but I just knew the Lord had called me to come and start a Korean work. That was exciting, just started to pray and reach people and hold services. Shortly after, we got married and she came to Alabama. So we served the Lord together there for 12 years, and she had started a couple of local coffee shops and just enjoyed doing life. We had a daughter there and everything was great. Just a few years ago, while we were pastoring the Korean church, the Lord really just started to give me a burden about church planting, and that's when we started visiting different states and cities. California was not the first place that we had in mind or wanted to come. And when we came to visit California for a conference, I told my wife, I said, hey, there's no way that the Lord's calling us to California. Everybody's, trying to get out of California. It doesn't make sense for us to, go in when it seems like everybody's leaving. But through the conference that we were a part of, it really just kind of broke us and had us start from ground zero. We started to drive around LA County, Orange County, and we just saw city after city after city, just large amounts of people without Jesus. And what we saw really affected our heart. And when we got to Irvine, it just kind of very solidified in our hearts that this may be the place. We came to Irvine with nothing really, but we just had faith. We didn't know much about all of the daily life or even the cost of living to the T before we moved here. But we just knew that the Lord wanted us here. So from Alabama, we started driving through Mississippi and Louisiana to Texas and more Texas and a little bit more Texas. And finally through Arizona, we got to California. During the week, we started to talk to people and reach people, soul winning and canvassing right off the bat. But on the weekends, we started to travel to churches and share our burden and begin to raise some support so this church plant would, get off the ground. And all of the pastors in California that we've met have been so hospitable, so generous, and so good to us. They really taught us what a spirit of collaboration and brotherhood was. And that's been a great encouragement to us. I think as church planters, starting a brand new church, some of the things that we consider is where will we live, where will we meet, and who will show up on the grand opening Sunday. But the Lord has really just given us the faith and confidence in Him that He'll provide, and He has absolutely done that every step of the way. One of the core values and vision for City Light is that our church become a multicultural and multi-generational church where grandma and grandpa and mom and dad and their children can all come to church together. And I think that is a healthy model where the faith and that legacy lives on. The gospel changed my life, and that's what I'm passionate about. That's what we're passionate about sharing that gospel with others. Although this is the very beginning times of City Light, I think as we continue to grow together and serve together and do our very best in reaching one person at a time in Irvine, I believe that the Lord will be glorified. And I envision one day that all of these seats will be full of people that have been reached by the gospel of Jesus Christ for the glory of God. So we're looking forward to the journey that the Lord has called us to at City Light.